got one of those little dishes," Holly said. "More and more folks do," he replied. "Anything else I can do for you?" "Not right now," she replied. "I'm sure I'll have some questions tomorrow." Malone handed her his card. "Here's my number, and Chet Marley's home number is on the back. He said you should call him as soon as you get in." "I'll do that," Holly replied. Malone drove away in his golf cart, and Holly went into her trailer, switched on some lights, and began tidying the things that had shifted during the drive. She was hungry, but she wanted to talk to Marley before dinner. They had talked a number of times during the 5 weeks it had taken her to retire from the military. She dialed his number. "Hello?" He sounded rushed. "Chet, it's Holly. I just got in." "Oh, good. Everything all right for you at Riverview?" "Sure is. I've even got a river view." "Boy, am I glad you're here. I wanted to buy you dinner tonight, Holly, but something's come up and I have to meet with somebody." "That's all right. I'm kind of tired anyway." "It's about that internal problem I told you about." "Anything new on that?" "A whole lot. I'm getting close now, and after my meeting tonight, I'm going to be ready to start knocking some heads together. Looks like there's not going to be as much for you to do as I thought." "Well, I'm glad you've got a handle on it," she replied. "I know you've been worried." "I sure have. Listen, you show up at the station at 9 tomorrow morning, and I'll bring you up to date and get you started. I've got a box full of uniforms for you, and we'll get you a badge, an ID, and a weapon issued. There's going to be a lot to do, even without the internal problem, because we're going to be a little short-handed after I'm finished." "That's fine," she said. "I'll see you in the morning." They hung up. Holly went to the kitchen and found a steak and a bottle of Cabernet. Then she got out the stainless steel grill, set it up outside, and hooked up the gas bottle, which, she noticed, seemed almost empty. She started the grill, then unstrapped her lawn furniture from the rack on the trailer, poured herself a glass of wine, put the steak on the fire, and sat down to watch the sun set over the river. The water had turned purple and gold, and the sun made a big red ball as it sank through the haze. She turned the steak, sipped the wine, and took it all in. Her new home was on a small inlet leading from the main river, surrounded by acres of marsh, with a little dock a few feet away. Maybe she'd buy a boat. She'd taken the money she'd saved, plus her part of the insurance money from her mother, who had died 3 years before, paid off the loan on the trailer, traded in her car, and put the rest into treasury bills and a mutual fund. She drank her wine and took stock. She was 38 years old, with exactly 20 years in the military behind her. She'd enlisted at 17, been assigned to the MPs at 19, gotten her bachelor's degree through the University of Maryland program that operated on military bases all over the world, gone to officer candidate school at 22, and worked her way up to major and command of a company of MPs. That was when Colonel Bruno had taken a liking to her, and nothing had been the same since. What had started as a simple pass, rebuffed, had turned into a year-long campaign of would-be seduction that had ended in a nearly successful attempt to rape her. That was when she could take it no longer and had pressed charges. Holly had known that prosecuting him would be an uphill battle. But when the young lieutenant had walked into her office and told her own story of Bruno's abuse, she had thought the corroboration of another officer would put the man in prison, or at least get him out of the military. It still stung to know how wrong she had been. She fixed herself a salad and ate the steak absently, reflecting on the life that had brought her to Orchid Beach. What had she done wrong? Why had this happened to her? She had made a real career for herself in the Army, with consistently outstanding evaluations by her superiors. She'd have made lieutenant.